All right. So welcome, everybody. I just want to say thank you for joining us tonight. We're going to zip along. It's not going to take very long, but I want to make sure we're answering all your questions. And then, of course, if we didn't, there's an opportunity at the end to ask some questions. This is for anyone who is doing the biker program, the kayakers, the Vikings, and the Islanders. So you guys are all in a division, what we call the Thicket division. So the next slide just gives us a little outline of what we'll be doing. Staff introductions in a minute, and then we'll just talk about the check-in day, some trip details, some packing lists, and then some fun little bonus tidbits as we go along. So first off, staff introductions. So my name is Amanda Macaluso. I am the camp director. I have loved working here for 30 years already, and this will be my 31st summer with Hayo-Went-Ha camps. And then I am lucky enough to work year round to make sure I have everything I possibly can or scheduled and ready, and for the 3 weeks of staff training and then the 8 weeks of campers. So also on the line, I want to introduce you to the Thicket division leader.
Hello, my name is Karin Jo. I am the Thicket division leader this year. It is my 6th year on staff. It's my 2nd time being the Thicket division leader. And I've actually been going to camp for 14 years. So I was a camper, just like some of you.
Awesome. Okay, so if you are new to camp, the first day can be a little overwhelming. And we want to just go through that, how that looks. If you are a returner, that day is probably extremely exciting. That day where you get back to being back at camp and meeting up with all your friends from last year. If you're new to camp, we're going to make sure that you make all those new friends. So right from the start, we'd like to have you, you'll stop at the driveway and get a name tag so that we all know who you are. Then you'll meet your division leader. So you'll meet Karen at our check-in tables. So you'll line up and go to the Thicket division check-in. I'll be around as well. So certainly say hi to me, and any questions that you might have for me, let me know. And then we'll have your counselors meet you. We have 2 counselors in every cabin. So they'll come over and they'll meet you, and they'll help you move in, and they'll introduce you to the other friends that that are going to be in your cabin as well. We make special time to make sure that we're welcoming our new campers so that you have a little bit of a tour. We'll certainly help you move into your cabin. We'll help everyone move in. But if you are new to camp, you don't know where your cabin is yet. So we'll make sure that we go out there with you. Parents, you can stay as long as you like as well. We ask that you don't stay too long, but definitely enough to make sure that you're comfortable and your camper is comfortable and ready for you to head off. That night, we do a welcoming opening campfire. We do a full staff introduction. So all our staff stand up and say where they're from and what their positions are. And then we will also have some songs, and we do some traditions and do some very fun welcoming activities at that campfire. So that's kind of the first day. Then we get into programming the next day. I just want to throw a slide out there for our arrivals. These are the dates. You've probably got them well and truly on your schedule, but at the times is what I want to just emphasize. 6th to 8th grade, we'd like to have you start about 2:30. If you're a little older and you're 9th to 11th or 9th grade for this Zoom group, 2 o'clock. And we did that during COVID just to kind of spread everyone out, but we actually like it because it gives us a little bit more time with each of you and not just everybody all at once. So it kind of works well. So that's opening, and well, that's the dates and the drop-off times. And then, so a little bit about the health center. On check-in, we would love for you to go up to our health center. It's right near where you check in, where our check-in tables are. I want you to go up there and meet the health officer, health officers, check in with them. If you do have medication, please make sure it's that you bring it to camp in the original container. And then any other extra concerns or anything you feel that we need to know about your daughter, your child, please let me know. I'm happy to take an email and then share that accordingly. Any medication that you bring to camp must be administered and stored in the health center. And you can go up there at after breakfast, after lunch, after dinner, and before bed to get that medicine. And then we also have a lot of routine over-the-counter meds as well. So if you do have a little headache or a little bump or a scratch, we have everything that we need to cater for those. Anything that's bigger than what we can handle, we will certainly contact you and then seek extra medical outside treatment. In regards to the health center, please make sure that you have filled out your health form and submitted it online. We do want to take a good read of them and make sure that we know everything we need to know about your camper before they arrive, so we are fully prepared for their camp experience. This is just my fun slide. Lots of fun things that we do, lots of arts and crafts. We're right on the water, so lots of swimming. You'll see this photo down here. Please make sure you bring something crazy fun to wear. That is one of the things that we're known for. We do have a couple of evening activities that require you to wear some crazy outfits. So pack them in the bottom of your bag so you can pull them out when we need to. So I'm just going to zip down to our first program now. So it is the Islanders. The Islanders program is a great new program for us. We've changed our location, and I'm going to jump over to Karen to tell us all about it because she has been there.
Right. So we decided to change up the Islander trip this year, and instead it's going to be a 4-day portage and canoeing trip. It's in the Big Island Lake Wilderness area, which is located in Hiawatha National Forest in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. It is a beautiful park with just really pristine wilderness. So it is basically, it's 4 days, 3 nights of days that will kind of depend with some will have longer paddling days with some shorter portages, and some will have a bit longer portage days with shorter paddling. But for those of you who don't know, portaging is where you carry a canoe on your shoulders, which may seem kind of intimidating, but it's actually you get the hang of it pretty quickly. As you can see in the bottom right corner, someone's doing that. And it's also something that you would do in groups. So you do it in groups of 3, where one person would be leading and another person would be spotting up ahead. But the rest of it is spent on the beautiful lakes in the area. There's tons of lily pads and beautiful forests. There's really cool fungi in the area, lots of pretty yellow and bright red mushrooms. But yeah, it's a great trip. I scouted it out last fall, and I'm super excited for everyone to go on it this summer.
Awesome. So that's Islanders. The next cabin that we want to talk about is the Bikers. And Karen, back over to you because you have some firsthand information about this trip too.
Right. So we also changed up the biker trip this year. It's still a biking trip. It's still 8 days long, and you still will spend a day on Mackinac Island. But it's slightly different in that just the location of it will stay in the mitten of Michigan. It starts in Charlevoix, it goes up to Mackinac City, and then it makes its way east through Sheboygan to Alpena. Again, it's on it'll be on the Northeastern State Trail, the North Central State Trail, and the Northwestern State Trail, which are all official bike paths in Michigan. They all connect to each other, which is great. But you'll have the opportunity to, bike on the side of beaches, which is really cool. Obviously, you'll spend a day in Mackinac where you get to bike around the entire island, as well as, go into the shops and check out, the fudge and the ice cream and all of that. And then you'll be heading east to the Alpena Sheboygan area, which has these beautiful inland lakes, as well as an opportunity to swim in a lower falls of a waterfall.
Nice. Yeah. And you had to check that out personally, right? The waterfall swimming.
I did check out it, and it was very fun and refreshing. So
especially in May, it was probably very refreshing. All right. So the next trip we have, there's a little bit more of a biker, some more fun of the biker trips, and
yeah, these are from the new
additional photos. Nice. Awesome. And then Vikings. So Vikings, Karen, would you like to chat about the Vikings as well? Did you do that as a camper? And a staff member?
I did not do the Vikings trip, but I've talked extensively with some staff and former campers who've done the Viking trip.
So I was also a counselor back in the day, and the Vikings was a trip that I had never done as a counselor. So my husband and I actually went up and did it just for fun in the fall one year so that we could get a feel for it. So it is beautiful. But back to you. Sorry.
So the Vikings trip is a 8-day hiking trip in the Porcupine Mountains, which are located in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. It's a great trip for like introductory or somewhat of a moderate level of hiking, but it's really beautiful. As you can tell from the pictures, you'll be up on ridges with some amazing viewpoints. You'll have the ability to do some river crossings and swim in the rivers. But I think you do a total of 30 to 35 miles throughout the 8 days. But it's just a great trip. It's a really unique opportunity. It's not a super visited state park. But yeah, it's great trip. I've heard amazing things. I've talked about it with a lot of the staff members who've done it, and every single person just adores the trip. So
Awesome. And then last but not least, we have the kayakers. So tell us all about the kayaking trip.
So the kayaking trip is a 12-day kayaking trip, as I said. You do it in Wawa, Ontario, in Canada, and you will be kayaking along the lake shore of Lake Superior. So you kind of go up one way and then you kind of go back down the way you came. One thing that's special about this trip is that you'll also be, in addition to your 2 counselors, you'll be accompanied by a certified sea kayaking guide. So we use Naturally Superior Adventures, which is located in Wawa, and they're great. All the guides are super fun, super involved. They are, trained in wilderness first responder, as well as having their official sea kayaking certification. The days will kind of vary depending on the water. So you will never go out on the water if there's a water advisory or wind advisory. But it's a really nice chill trip where you'll spend your days on the water as well as like exploring the rocky shore. Apparently there's some really good rock hunting. Like everyone takes pictures of all these super cool rocks, and like you can find agates in the beaches, and it's just really beautiful. This is another one where you have the opportunity to hike inland and swim in a waterfall, which is super cool. That's a kind of a theme with some of these Thicket trips.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's spending 12 days out on the lake, as well as like one day where you get to go into Wawa and kind of walk around the town there. And there's 3 goose statues that are very iconic to that location. But yeah, it's a great trip. We had 2 that were sent out last year, and everyone had an amazing time. So
Awesome. So lots of details on the website in regards to the trip program. But we want to just touch base here on the packing lists. The packing list also can be found on the website, and I'll show you exactly where in a little bit. But we want to really emphasize rain gear. That is something that you will need. Most likely a day or 2 or 5 or 6 on your trip could be a little wet. So we want to make sure not only do you have a great rain jacket, but you also have rain pants. And because some of these trips are a little longer, you really want to make sure you've got good quality pants, as well as the jacket. Also, no phones. Make sure that you're leaving all your devices at home and have a really good 2 or 4 weeks just totally unplugged. Some essential items, we want to make sure you bring a water bottle, or maybe even 2. I think the Vikings may even need to take 2, just because it is quite inland, some of the places. So having, 2 water bottles, I think is a good idea. We want to talk a little bit about our chapel. We do have a little service on Sunday. It really is focusing on the core values of the YMCA. So that's caring, honesty, respect, and responsibility, as well as inclusion, teamwork, and environmental stewardship. So we touch on some of those topics or themes, and then the oldest cabin in camp will be the presenter of that chapel service. So it could be you, actually. One of the trips, I think, is it the Bikers or the Vikings maybe that could be doing that?
I think last year it was kayakers and bikers at different times. So it could be bikers, Vikings, or kayakers potentially.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. And also another thing we want to make sure you're bringing is something crazy fun to wear, something that you may not necessarily wear out in the real world. At camp, we don't mind. You can wear things that don't match. Just bring anything that would be fun. There's often a night throughout the 2 or 4 weeks that we dress up and be crazy. So actually, I think we're crazy most of the time, but definitely pack something that will suit that theme. And then shoes, closed-toed shoes at camp. So bring a nice set of sneakers for sure. But also when you're on your trip. So Vikings and Islanders, you need to bring hiking shoes, hiking boots for Vikings with ankle support. We also ask you if you're an Islander. I know you're not hiking because it's a canoe trip, right? But we do have some portages, and we want to make sure that you're not rolling any ankles while you're hiking through the woods on a portage trail with a canoe on your head. So please make sure you're bringing hiking boots for that. The other little tidbit for this division is the bikers. We do recommend padded bike shorts. So you've got a little bit more of the padding when you're riding all those miles. So that's kind of packing lists. You can find the details. You can find those packing lists on our website. So if you go to our website, you'll see at the very top, it says parent resources up there. If you want to click on that, you'll come down to this screen, and one of those 6 boxes is packing lists. Under that is also a lot more information about dates and times and mail and all the other things. So we'll touch on a little bit more today, but feel free to just check out that website in detail. And then just want to give you a shout out. We are so excited. We have a new food service director. His name is Doug, and he is cooking amazing food this year. Just really good, healthy, lots of fruit and vegetables. We have a salad bar at lunch and dinner. He's got lots of variety. If you have any dietary restrictions, please give us some advance notice. We just want to make sure that we're catering for you. So, just give me an email or make sure that is on your health form so that we can print that up and have a report for him so he knows when you're coming and what your needs are in regards to food service. But Karen, what do you think? Meals? So far, we've been eating just amazing food.
It has been so good. I honestly think this is the best food I've ever had at camp this year. Tonight we had amazing, authentic Mexican food cooked by our kitchen staff, who majority of them are from Mexico. And I think every single person was getting up for seconds and thirds. It was amazing.
Yeah, it's really good. All right, so just a quick little touch base on communication. We are using Bunk One, and that information is on the website, but it has options to email your camper. So there is a little fee, and you can write an email as regularly as you'd like. That comes to us in a bulk delivery. Our office manager will then print them out and put them in your child's mailbox. There also is an option it's called Bunk Replies. You can add that to your incoming letter, and then the camper can write on that Bunk Reply. It gets scanned back straight into your email. So that is something that we are really trying to promote and work with the campers. Last year, it kind of all happened, and we didn't quite follow up with all our campers, so they weren't really sure how that worked. Our staff have all been briefed, so they know that, if your camper does have a Bunk Reply, what the procedures are. We also, of course, encourage them to write home if you want to send mail and letters, pre-addressed envelopes, and then you'll hopefully get a letter. And then Karen will be sending you regular updates. We do call them progress reports. You'll get an email from Karen as just as an update on how your cabin is going. You'll get one before and for sure after your trip, and probably another one in there as well, just to let you know how things are going and give you a little overview of the camp experience to date. So another thing I wanted to share with you is our trip schedule. If you are a biker, first session bikers head off here on June 29th. So that's their date. They leave just after breakfast, and we drop them off on their first night, and off they go. And then we will see them back. We will pick them up on July 6th. So they will be away July 4th. So we make sure that they have some fun entertainment and exciting things to do on July 4th to celebrate. Our kayaker trip, kayakers leave here on the 28th of June. and they come back over here on the 8th. So again, that's their time frame. Vikings, they head off here on the 26th of June, and they come back on the 3rd of July. And then Islanders, first session Islanders, you guys will head out here on the 26th, on the Monday, and you'll come back on the Thursday in time to pack up and zip on home on the 30th. So Islanders will have this first full week to do all the camp fun and all the camp activities, as well as getting ready for their trip, and then away they go. In regards to the trip details, picking up kids is one of my favorite things, is watching the bus come back from all these trips. They've been out in the field for a week or 4 days, or some of our older trips for 2 weeks. They come back and they just get off the bus and they're so excited to share their stories and share all about their experiences, and they're strong and accomplished and have worked well together as a team and really got to know each other. So they're a really strong bond when they get back. If you are interested in sending up packages or mail, we ask that you get the mail to us at least 2 days before the vehicle leaves. So for example, kayakers, that van will leave to pick them up on the 27th. So if you want oh no, that's when they're leaving. I'm sorry. Let's go this way. So the 8th of July is when they get picked up. So the van will go up on the 7th. So if you want any mail or packages to go up on that vehicle to meet them at their pickup, it's got to come in on the 6th. So just, keeping an eye, bikers, just make sure it's 2 days ahead of that pickup date so that we can get the van packed with all your packages if you would like, and mail. Same with second session, very, very similar dates. If anyone's here on second session, bikers, you guys leave here on the 28th. You come back on the 4th of August. Kayakers, you guys are leaving here on the 23rd. And 12 days later, you will venture back to camp on the 2nd. So packages need to be here on the 31st. Vikings, you are heading off on that second Monday on the 24th. You'll be back on the 31st. And then Islanders. So Islanders, first 2 weeks are here. Again, the 24th. So the first week at camp, we leave on the 24th and they come back on the 27th. And then if you're a session 2B Islander, we have you guys doing the same thing. Oh, nope, we're going to leave a little earlier. So again, this is all scheduled around permits, availability, transportation, lots of different things. But 2B is a little different. We're going to head out on August 2nd, and then we'll be back at camp on August 5th. But any questions about the trip schedule, please feel free to let us know, and keep an eye for a progress report from Karen upon their return as soon as we can. We always like to take photos of them when they get off the bus so that we can send them to you so you know they're back and how successful their trip has been. So any other questions? We're happy to answer any questions that you might have. This is my email and Karen's email, and we are happy to receive any emails. I think we've covered nearly everything I wanted to. If there's any other questions, if you would like to just jump off mute and let us know, we're happy to answer any questions we may have missed. All right. Is anyone on the call have their camper with them that have done any of these trips in the past? All right. Well, if there's no other questions, we are in the midst of staff training right now. We have a crew or a team of 75. We are learning all the ropes, literally. Actually, we've got a crew out at the ropes course doing our ropes course training. So we're learning everything we need to know in preparation for our campers who arrive. Our first session campers arrive here in 8 days. So we're super excited. We're ready. We hope that you are. And again, if you have any questions, please reach out and let us know, and we'll be super excited to see you soon. Awesome. Karen, any other last minute things from you?
No, we're just super excited for everyone to come this summer. So we'll see you soon.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. And have a great night. Oh, I see a question. Thank you. Thank you, Jane. We'll see you soon.
I actually have a quick question.
Yeah.
So for the kayakers trip, we don't need to bring like the waterproof sack or anything. That's all camp provided.
Yeah, if you want to bring a little small teeny one for your personal belongings, like maybe a camera or a journal, feel free. But we pack everything else out from here, right, Karen?
Yeah, we have all those dry bags we can supply with. We also have little tiny personal ones, if need be, if you want. If you do have a preference to bring, one personal for yourself, feel free, but it's not necessary.
Okay. Yeah, I have a smaller one, but all I have is a hiking backpack. I was just wondering if those are camp supplied. Thank you so much.
No, yeah, you don't. Yeah, you can bring your backpack if you like, just to carry stuff to your cabins. A trunk is also a good idea, but neither of those two things will be going on your trip.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Awesome, you're welcome. Well, thanks everyone. Unless there's no other questions, we will sign off and see you soon. All right. I think we're good. Thank you very much, Karen. I'll see you in the other room.